It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And up next is this team's sure-handed tight end, who's closing in on 1,000 yards receiving on the year. This should be a good one to watch. Coming up next.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Set for football now on a rainy Sunday afternoon. And we are underway here on EA Sports. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a look here at their signal caller, the fifth-year quarterback.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
This to the sideline and over everybody, incomplete. No flags forthcoming, though. Maybe a break there. That looked like a clear throwaway to me. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he comes back with one complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. He'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And on now is the punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at about the 28. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Shot here on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They need 2. Here's 3rd down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And it was the stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1. From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 9. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. To the sideline and incomplete. But you look at this defense. Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Runs through the contact. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll set up to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A really nice gain of 25 yards. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down. Hands it off out of the gun. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
And this one is right through. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
The tight end in motion right. 2nd and 11. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down. Back to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. They'll look to throw. Here's a diving catch right side. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Now this incomplete, and I don't see any flags coming out. He was clearly in the pocket, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, and that brings up 4th down. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The visitors' offense, led by their running back, headed out for the 2nd possession. And we give you a look there at the league leaders in receiving touchdowns. You can see he's second best amongst NFL running backs at this point in the season. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. When you look at this defense, they're just below the cut line for top half of the league, 17th in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. He's got a man that's caught left sideline. And they will finally catch him, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
Offense.
So he gets too far beyond the line, and that's an easy call for the official.
Still 1st down.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll be stopped at the 46. Gain of 3. The offense on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Back to throw here. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just lob one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the 1st. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
So they bring out their punter. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And no room to run. Might have gotten a yard. That's all. 2nd down.
Now 2nd and 9.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now a handoff running through the middle. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Now back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the 1st down right near the 24.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be 4th down. And they'll send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down. 2nd down and 6 now.
On play action, they'll throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Looking to throw. Buying time to his left. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
Well, he and his offense was staring down what was likely a 3 and out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
2nd down and a yard. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 50 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive they went 3 and out.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Touchdown! A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Point after try forthcoming. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So this drive spans 7 plays. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Well, now how about this return?
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense. Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done. A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That is caught and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a first down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. They'll look to throw again. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the
touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown. And his guys have made this a one-score game now. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The visitors' offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. He's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And leading 10-7, and they may just want to get this to the locker room.
And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our...
Hey, we get it. No time to waste. Playoffs starting next week. We skip right over halftime and get back to the action.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And this offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in the second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he goes out right around the 39.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
They bring their punter out there now as he's on to kick it away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They'll set up a throw.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, the defense obviously could not have drawn up a better start to the second half. They're holding on to that slim lead, just looking for a stop. Not only do they get the stop, Charles, they get the pick 6.
Another example that life comes at you fast, doesn't it? One play ago, they were defending a slim lead coming out of the break. Now they're one more stop away from thinking about a possible put-away drive.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. It's good to make it 17-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Out of the gun now on third down.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 yards there, down to the 18 and a first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Touchdown! An 18-yard touchdown grab. And his guys are able to make this a close game again. That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense, too.
That's a great point, because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments, trying to figure things out, but they'll do so fatigued.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. So the drive there took 6 plays. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. And he's got his man in stride, complete. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. They'll look to throw here.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly.
The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
2nd down and 8. Hands it off out of the gun. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 92 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this
Neutral zone
again?
infraction, defense.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error.
Still
Stay
first down.
alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a toss here, short side. Oh, he shifts past him. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw. Touchdown! A 2-yard touchdown grab. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Our home team, 14.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
47-yard line.
They'll set up to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. Back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
From the 22 now, here's the 2nd and 8.
They'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And his guys have made this a 1-score game now.
So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. This offense and their running back heading back onto the field. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. 1st down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it 2nd down. They're going to look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. He'll look to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. 2nd and 13. And a quick throw here. That's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They'll drop to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the first down. So you got to think if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, guy, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. Over the middle, it's complete.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there. And now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10 now. And his throw here's incomplete. Inside a minute to go. Here's 2nd and 10 now. He's back to throw. Oh, and that nearly ended it. That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with 3rd down coming up. Back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
4th down, 10 yards to go. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he comes back with one complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the 1st down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And they'll indeed take a knee. Well, this ball game was close throughout. Remember, it was neck and neck at intermission, neck and neck at the end, but a great job to come in here in a tough environment, Charles, and get the victory.
Yeah, tough environment indeed. How about all the people we can hear shouting from their seats right below us, partner? They weren't real happy that their team didn't keep the home field. How about how these visitors came in, calm every step of the way, even with all the pressure, and found a way to get out of here with a win.
So for our visitors, they finish so close to perfection in the regular season, but this win in the final weekend gives them a final mark of 16-1. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the home team here, it will indeed be a 10-loss season as they wrap up 7-10. And I think you have to say, ultimately, this was a team that really underachieved. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.